Hello, welcome back to my channel and welcome if you are new. I'm trying something new with my backlighting today. I put on the red. I feel like it's a whole vibe. Let me know your thoughts. But anyway, I came across a live that Colleen, the heartbeat behind No Shame Sales Game, had posted last week about giving yourself a permission slip. And I thought it was reaction worthy. So if you're not familiar with No Shame Sales Game or Colleen, the heartbeat behind No Shame Sales Game, she's essentially another network marketing business coach. So we're going to react to this together. It's going to be a show. Let's go.
Hello, my friends. For those of you who I do not yet know, my name is Colleen Nichols, and I am the heartbeat behind No Shame Sales Game and Direct Sales Growth Community. And today, I'm going to talk about a little piece of a conversation that I was having inside of DSGC earlier this week. So something that I've been doing, and my story views have been I don't know if anyone else's algorithm is down or not performing as well as it normally does, but mine is in the shit can. So I was like, let's do a live. Maybe I'll see more people. Okay. Something I've been doing in DSGC is bringing in a colleague, a peer of mine, a CEO, an entrepreneur, whatever, and we have candid conversations about what it is to be a business owner, not just the social media success part of things. And I think that is an important conversation to have. And I am not going to make a podcast, so this is like my version of a podcast. And I'm meeting my best friend for tacos because I cook my own pepperoni. So sorry for the trucks that you're hearing. So I was having a conversation with Kristen Boss, and we were talking about a lot of things. And one of the things that we were talking about is investing in your business. And I think this is something that, especially as women, I know there are men here, Adam, hey, there are people here, but mostly women have a hard time conceptualizing investing in ourselves and our businesses, because they're like, if I don't have all of the cash on hand right this second, then it's not worth it, whatever. So we were talking, Kristen hosted an event, I hosted an event last summer, and we were just talking about how much money it takes to do that type of thing. And you take on debt, you take out loans, you do things. I think when I talk about
why the is she promoting going into debt to build your network marketing business? Going into debt more, I should add. I feel like this is a domino effect in the sense that the person that's typically trying to get you to join their MLM team will often promote using a credit card to join their team if that is what it's going to take to get you on the team. So I feel like this is taking it a step further and being like, get the coaching you need. She's going to direct you to her course that she has for direct sellers and network marketers, and use your credit card if you have to, because $360 whatever isn't that much on a credit card. Ma'am, it might not be that much to you, but that's a big chunk of money.
Joining DSGC, sometimes people say $365, I don't have that in cash right now. And I'm like, does nobody use a credit card for their businesses? I started in network marketing with a credit card because I did not have the $999 to start my business, which now seems insane that was the price, because now people are, it's like $49, but I didn't have $1,000. So I put it on a credit card and I said, I'm going to work to pay this off. So we were having this conversation, and so many people on the chat, or in the chat and afterwards, have been sending me messages I hadn't thought about business that way. And it's just one of those things. I feel like as women, and again, you can tell me in the chat or whatever, but we feel like, I don't know what the word is. Either we're not worth it, or it's too risky, or whatever, to spend a couple $100,000, or not 100,000, a couple thousand, to better your business. And I don't know who needs the permission slip. I don't know who needs the nudge. But
not a couple hundred, a couple thousand. invest a couple $1,000s in your network marketing business. Please don't do that. The return on that investment is just not there most of the time. Statistically, it's not there.
Everyone that you know who is successful in business has invested money into it. So if you're like, I need the extra push, I need the extra help, I need the coach, whatever, everyone that is successful, everyone has invested money in their business. My husband spends money whenever, and I think about bills and food and my kids. Yes, depending on how much you're investing, it feels very risky or selfish. See, risky and selfish are not the same. And I'm willing to bet that for a lot of women, it feels selfish. And I was just on my friend Megan Colsing's podcast not too long ago, and I talked about how last year my word of the year was selfish. Because we don't do things for ourselves. And we think selfish means bad, but really doing things that are bettering you only betters everything else in your life. So I was on this like selfish journey for the entire year, and my whole life got better. My marriage got better. My parenting got better. My friendships got better. And it was because I wasn't always trying to like please everyone else and never please myself. Victoria, when we invest in ourselves, we can bring more value to others. Yeah. Oh, cool. Self-full. Oh, there you go. So, I don't know. I just feel like people need the permission slip. So there it is. Whether it's for DSGC, whether it's for another coach or another program.
Here's your permission slip to spend a ton of money on a business that is going to show you statistically, again, no return on investment.
That's cool too. I'm all about the abundance. The people who are meant to be with me will be with me, and the people who are meant to be at other places will be. But if you need the permission slip. Exchange is painful. Again, but like, okay, so as a Canadian, exchange is painful. Whether you're talking about joining me or somebody else, it is. But what is also painful is like staying in the same place and like not making the strides that you know you're capable of making. And sometimes when you make an investment, it scares you enough and it's painful enough that you're going to do the work to make sure that it pays off. That's how I felt anyway when I started with Rodan Fields and I paid $1,000. I was like, this is so scary.
So I'm glad she said that, because just because your intention is to work hard and be able to pay that off. That's all fine and well. But specifically with network marketing, less than 1% actually make money and are able to pay off their credit card that they use to go into debt to build their network marketing company.
That I can't sit here with that type of discomfort. I have to do something. I have to move in order to like ease this discomfort. So, that's something to think about as well. There's my friend. Do you find it's harder to do this business if you're chasing the money? Yeah, because then you're just showing up. Hold on, actually, you're a fucking idiot. If you're just chasing the money, then you're not looking to like actually help anybody. If you're not helping anybody, then nobody's going to be attracted to what you're doing. One of the things that drives me nuts is how people will tell women that you shouldn't have to invest money, and if you are, it's a scam. These people have no idea how business works. Yeah, people have no idea how business works if they're telling you that you shouldn't have to invest money. So, I don't know. Here's your Friday permission slip.
It's not that you shouldn't have to invest money, because a lot of people, myself included, will say that network marketing MLMs is a scam. And the reason that is our opinion is because you're investing this money to buy into something, to buy into a business that's not even yours. When you are, say, spending $50 or so to get your LLC or what have you, you are spending that money to credential your business. You're not buying into any kind of business opportunity or join kit. It's totally different, and nobody is benefiting from you getting your LLC aside from you. So that's another argument that they will have. Like, you always have to invest money in a business, which is true to an extent. In an MLM business, you're investing money in all the wrong things, and it's not getting you any return again.
If it makes sense, as you know, what we do in DSGC, we have trainings every week from different speakers, not just myself. We have daily social media prompts. We have dozens of resources and documents to help you with reach outs and recruiting and onboarding and all the things to make you the best version of a social seller in a modern world. So, link is in my bio. My DMs are open, and I'm going to go have some tacos and bars with my best friends. So, alrighty, see you later.
So that was a super short live. I wanted to also kind of scroll through her page really quick with you and see what other things she's been up to since my last video about her. So it looks like she has recently announced some changes to her actual course that she has. She did a live about it last week. So let's take a look at that.
Hello! For those of you who do not know, my name is Colleen Nichols and I am the heartbeat behind No Shame Sales Game and Direct Sales Growth Community. And today I'm going to take a couple minutes to talk about all of the changes that are coming to Direct Sales Growth Community. Some of you have been here for a while, some of you are new and have no idea what I'm talking about, so stick with me as I go through this. I'll be talking about this a lot for the next 2 weeks, but I know I'm trying to get everybody where I can, whether it's in my stories, on my feed, emails, whatever, just because, you know, throwing spaghetti at the wall and see what sticks, because I don't know where people get their information these days. So,
I always wonder how truthful she is about like who's reaching out to her and how many like messages she has, because she always makes it a point to be like, I'm trying to get back to everybody and this and that. And that's a tactic that I used to use when I was in MLMs, where I would be like, I'm getting so many messages about this specific sale that's going on or something like that. And I would be getting nothing, like no messages, no interest whatsoever, but I would be pretending like I was so busy. So I always wonder like how truthful she is when she says she's so busy getting back to messages.
Direct Sales Growth Community is a membership platform that I started about 2.5 years ago because I wanted a space where network marketers and people in sales could learn how to, I don't know, be better at what we do. And I wanted to like spearhead this, but I also didn't want to be the only voice, because I think that when that's the case, like groupthink happens and like weird alliances and allegiances happen. And
when that's the case, groupthink happens. I'm pretty sure that in any network marketing or MLM company, groupthink is happening.
It's, you know, I wanted lots of input. So every week I bring in different trainers, different speakers, different experts to train on a variety of different topics, from, you know, things from like mindset, emotional stuff, to strategy and sales and social media and everything in between, because I really do think that as a business owner or an entrepreneur, you have to have all of those bases covered. You can't just be like super good at reels and know what you're doing. So that's what we do. I also have things like a weekly office hour where I hop on Zoom every Monday and answer members' business questions. It's one of my favorite parts about DSGC because I get to like interact and talk with and get to know everyone who's there. We also have a replay library that has all of our trainings that have been, you know, over the last 2.5 years. You can go through, watch any of them at any time. And we have like a resource. Did I say resource or replay? Now I'm talking about resource, where we have documents like an onboarding document, language examples, like reach outs, follow-ups. We have income tracker, so you can actually understand your P&L, so you're making money and not losing it. It's a wonderful, it's something I'm so proud of. And over the last 2.5 years, we've helped over 5,000 network marketers through our community. And no, it's not on Facebook. It's hosted on Mighty Network. So it's off social media. You don't have to be in a Facebook group or anything like that. You can access it on an app or on your computer. It's great. And over the last 2.5 years, and currently it's $365 for a 12-month membership. and there hasn't been a payment plan option because when you have access to DSGC, you have access to everything. You have access to our 2+ years of replays. You have access to all of our documents and resources. You have access to the entire community, dailies, everything. And I was like, I'm not going to give somebody access to all of that for a month where they could just like bounce. Like, I'm not going to do that. I want to protect what we have, the integrity of people who are there, the speakers that come in, whatever and what have you. So it's never been an option. But you guys talking about like not being good at follow-up. But you are in my DMs because you don't stop asking about a payment plan option or a monthly option. And I'm like, I don't know how to make it work. I don't know how to make it work. I figured out how to make it work. So if you're somebody who is either new to business owning or entrepreneurship and you have a network marketing business, or you're an entrepreneur otherwise, whatever, and you're like, I don't want to spend $365. That scares me. That's cool. So we're going to have 3 options. And I am working with my friends at the Social Studio to make pretty graphics and images for all my visual friends. But for now, this is what we got. So there's going to be 3 tiers. There's going to be the core tier, and that is going to be $35 a month. And you're going to have access to all the live trainings. So from like that month, you'll have access, and you'll have 7 days to watch a replay because time zones are a bitch. People are all over the globe, and there's no way that I couldn't offer replays. So you'll have a week to watch the replay. You also have access to the community. So you'll have access to like over 3,000 current members, where you can brainstorm, collaborate, do all the things. I can't tell you how many people's businesses have up-leveled because of the connections that they've made in DSGC. And that's what you'll have access to. And that'll be $35 a month. You can get the trainings, have a replay, connect in the community. Core Plus is where you're going to have all of that. So you're going to have the live trainings, and the community, and you're going to have access to one of my favorite and I think one of the most influential parts of DSGC, which is our weekly office hour. So that's where I hop on Zoom every week, every Monday. We do business coaching. If you are a member of DSGC, you can ask me your questions, and I will answer them on Zoom. You can come on live, you can watch the replay, doesn't matter. This is one of my favorite parts of DSGC because I get to interact with everybody, I get to coach people, and everyone interacts as well. So the chat section, or the chat, sorry, I gotta sneeze. Ooh. The chat during office hour is fire. Oh man, I gotta sneeze. It's not coming. So they're gonna have access to that as well. And there's one more thing that I can't remember. Longer replays. I'm looking at my notes. There was something else. I can't remember. I'm still learning this myself. And then, so that's gonna be $45 a month. And you'll have access to all that. Then we're gonna have like the all access Mac Daddy Pass, which is going to be essentially DSGC as it stands today. You're gonna have access to replays as long as you need them. You'll have access to a replay library. So everyone who's been in DSGC before, you have access to. You have access to office hours. You'll have access to our entire resource library as well. So you'll have the onboarding documents, the recruiting stuff, the language stuff, the P&L tracker, all of those things you'll have access to as well. That'll be $1,000. Currently, you can get that for $365. All of these changes will be made on June 1st.
That's a huge jump. $365 to $1,000. I also feel like that goes to show, like, how do I put this? How unaware, I guess is the word that I'm going to use, these network marketing or MLM coaches are. Like, they just think that you can go from $365 to $1,000 and make that big of a jump and it's going to be fine. Like, that is not typically how you see programs or businesses run that are legitimate. I just recently did a video about like comparing legitimate business coaches to BS business coaches. And I feel like this is another red flag that I didn't touch on in that video, is like the big, huge jumps in prices when they're like, you need to have some kind of lead up to it. You can't just jump from $365 to $1,000 overnight. That's not reasonable in any kind of business. In short, it feels like a big cash grab.
So I encourage you, if you're somebody who's been looking at DSGC and considering getting in, this would be a good time. Because I'm not doing a sale before that. And once it's done, it's done. The great thing is that when all of my members who are already there, and every member who was there before June 1st, you are grandfathered into all of this. You will not experience a price change. You will have access to everything. You're not losing access to anything. It's honestly going to be better for you because we are rearranging the entire thing. Everything is going to be so much more user-friendly. We're organizing things in a different way. We're actually adding different ways to connect with people and create community. So whether you're looking for accountability partners or people to go live with, or I don't know, you're a Peloton freak and you just want to like find other Peloton, like whatever. I'm not that, but my husband's like, you should have a Peloton one. Everyone likes Peloton. I'm like, I don't have a Peloton, but whatever. So there's going to be even better, deeper ways to connect. And if anyone here knows this and has been there, you know that the connections and the conversations that you have are what up-levels things. So, okay. I'm looking at, sorry.
So are you paying for connections?
Current members, yes. The price and plan are locked in. Yep. If joining now, does access ever expire? Right now it's a yearly membership. So access would expire, yes.
$1,000, not once, but every single year.
Yeah, I'm so excited about this change because it's been from the jump when I started this in, my living room and, on top of using a paint bucket as like a desk. Like, I was like, everyone needs to have access to training. And I think one of the things that the criticisms of network marketing in general is like, oh, it's the 1%, right? There's only 1% that's successful. And when you look at a lot of trainings and programs or whatever, they cater to that 1% because they're, thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars for a little, chunk of time, which is fine. And I'm not knocking that, but if I want to help the masses and an entire industry, I need to be able to reach more people and make it accessible to more people. So if dropping a couple $100s at once isn't an option for you, I am creating one. And I am so excited to have even more people experience kind of the DSGC way, experience and be exposed to so many different trainers and voices and people that kind of make their brain go, maybe if I switched that one little thing, my business would improve. So that's the update. As I said, I'll probably be annoying over the next 2 weeks, just making sure everyone is well aware, because I know on June 1st, someone will say, what the hell happened? Why didn't, and I'm like, sister friend, I've been here. We've been talking about it. So that's it. If you have any questions, my DMs are always open. But if DSGC is something you've been looking into as it stands, I personally would rather pay $365 than $1,000. Haley, one of the best investments in personal growth I've ever made. Oh, I love that. Thanks. Yeah, I think it's both. I think it's both professional and personal growth that happens in DSGC, which is really exciting. Because I've found for myself when there's personal growth, there's business growth, and they don't happen in a vacuum. So cool. Thank you. I hope you all have a wonderful weekend. If there are any moms out here, I hope you have a wonderful Mother's Day. If you are missing a mom or yearning to be a mom, I hope you take care of yourself and stay off social media this weekend. Take care. Bye.
So So those are all the fun changes coming to her DSGC. It almost feels like the anti-MLM community is getting the word out enough to where people are not joining MLMs as much. People are also not needing network marketing coaches as much because they're not in MLMs. So it feels very much like she needs to raise the price because maybe she's not getting as many members. I don't know. You be the judge, I guess. That's just an assumption, an opinion, call it what you want. Now I want to show you a few posts that she made that are pretty cringy. This one says, the person who says social selling is a scam is the same person who says, thanks boss, when they get a 30-cent raise for the year. So essentially it sounds like she's shitting on people who have a legitimate 9-to-5 job that they go to, or whatever time of day that they go to it, where they are guaranteed a paycheck. If they are not paying her, then they're automatically like written off. Chances are the individuals in her program have a job, because most people in network marketing are not making a livable wage. So they have to have their regular day job, whatever job that they have that gives them the paycheck that they need to keep the roof over their heads. So it's almost like she's being a hypocrite and putting some people in her community down, because they are the ones that are getting 30-cent raises every year, or what have you, whatever kind of raise that they get, and saying thank you because they're polite and they're not assholes trying to tell people that their 9-to-5 is a scam and the actual scam is not a scam. So somebody commented and said, at least people are getting a regular income. Why is everyone in MLMs hell-bent on talking about traditional jobs? Using FOMO tactics is pretty low. Amen. Preach it. Somebody else says, the minute I got a 50-cent raise, I knew that wasn't for me. LOL. Ma'am, if you work 40 hours a week for a whole year and you had a 50-cent raise, that's $1,040 extra than you would have had. That's also $1,040 more than the typical network marketer makes in their MLM. Somebody else comments, saw a video from an anti-MLM person who opened with not one, but 2 affiliate links, recommendations, and subscribing to something. Laughing emoji a million times, comical. Ma'am, why are you watching anti-MLM content? Also, affiliates are not the same as network marketing. I don't know how many times we have to say this, but we don't have to recruit anybody. And if you subscribe to one of our channels, that's cool, but also that number doesn't really matter that much. Not saying that my subscribers don't matter. My audience doesn't matter. I love you for being here. Whether you are anti-MLM or for MLMs, in MLMs, either way, I am grateful for you being here, but it doesn't cost you money. I'm not asking you for money. I'm not asking you to do anything. If you don't like my content, you can move along. I'm not going to pester you about anything. That's the difference between creating content and having affiliate links to network marketing and blasting your all over social media. Somebody else said, yes, but at least real jobs pay you for your time and you get consistent and reliable pay. Yes, absolutely. Somebody replied to her and said, imagine mocking people who work hard and get raises while cold messaging people to join your team to do exactly what you do, only to get them to build a team and recruit, and often seeing zero returns. Gross. Amen to that. And with that, I think we're going to walk away from Colleen for now. That was enough toxicity for one video. As always, thank you so much for keeping me company while I sit here and talk. I will see you in the next one.